Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to all panels. I'm Siti Nur Naja, Zulkifli with metric card number A17GH0107. Would like to present my research proposal with title as Development of GIS application for asset inventory management. My research study was supervised by Mr. Azman bin Arifin. For the first, I would like to present the presentation outline. First and foremost, I would like to introduce the introduction. Second, research background. Third, research problem statement. Fourth, research question. Five, aim and objective of the research. Six, research conceptual framework. Seven, research methodology. Eight, research operation workflow. 9. Study area. 10. Expected outcome. 11. Thesis structure. 12. Research schedule plan. 13. Conclusion. I will proceed with the first slide, which is introduction. Asset management is vital for every organization and institution. First of all, assets basically is a resource that has an economic value that is owned or operated by an individual company entity with the expectation that the asset will provide a future profit. Assets can also be used to produce cash flow, minimize costs, or increase revenue, regardless of whether they are production, equipment, or patents. Furthermore, there are two types of assets, which are tangible and intangible assets. I would like to explain tangible asset first. Tangible asset was defined as an asset with a finite monetary value and usually have a physical form. There are examples of tangible assets are current asset, fixed asset, and financial asset. Meanwhile, intangible assets including patents, copyright, trademarks, and goodwill. Asset management was defined as a method of an institution or organization for monitoring and securing their assets. Hence, asset management was important to analyze issues including physical location, maintenance requirements, performance, and disposal of assets. Hence, organizations and institutions should have their own way and method on how to control and exploit their properties and departments. Then I would like to proceed with the second slide, problem, which is the research background. Secondly, I would like to explain the research background. First and foremost, asset management is a vital principle for every organization. Local authorities have embraced the idea of asset management with the goal to enhance the asset's infrastructure efficiency. Second, security and monitoring are becoming a prevalent issue for organizations and institutions. Third, contributing the understanding on strategic infrastructure of asset management. And fourth, the research could determine the capabilities and importance of securing and monitoring on behalf of asset management. Then the research problem statement. Organization and institution must accommodate a lot of tools and equipment. Apparently, in its research, local authorities, which are MBJB, have addressing and scheduling the issues. They generally have trouble handling their properties since they are not equipped with a system. Basically, most of organization and institution will generally have a same problem as they are not equipped with a system. The assets are not well managed by the company as there is no effective person to manage the assets. Safety assets such as supervision, patrolling, and surveillance was crucial. The statement was cited by Order 2004. Hence, The problems indicate that the need to evaluate the current state of the assets collection protection. The main research questions of the research study are how to develop a security and monitoring application for a local authority. The research question of the research study are first, what is the current issues and framework for strategic infrastructure of asset management? Second, what is the impact of security and monitoring extension for asset management? And third, how to develop an application to monitor asset for local authority. Then I'll proceed with the aim of the research. The aim of the research is to develop a security and monitoring application for asset management. The objective of the research study are first, to review the concept and framework for strategic infrastructure of asset management. Second, to analyze the advantage of securing and monitoring first, asset management and maintenance. Third, to develop a security and monitoring application that can be integrated with 3D modeling. Research conceptual framework was an overview of the research study. Means that it will give a view on how the research was being done. First of all, in order to determine the strategy infrastructure of asset management, I have to understand the definition, business policies, stakeholder requirement, goals, and risk management of. Okay, I have to determine the needs of asset owners, legal requirement, and the client's needs. Then I have to determine the life cycle of asset management in terms of policies, strategy and planning, infrastructure asset management, risk and review. For the asset management policies, in my literature review, I have insist the principal requirement, and framework for strategy infrastructure asset management. Second, for the strategy and planning, I have listed actions taken, responsibility, resource to deliver asset management objective. Thirdly, on the infrastructure asset management, I have determined the asset planning, asset creation, asset operation and maintenance. And lastly, the risk and review. I have make a research regarding safety case, asset management, maintenance, and governance. This four point was important in order to create the asset management decision making. This is important to create the strategic modeling of the strategic infrastructure of asset management. The importance of the conceptual framework is to determine the path of the design research study. There are three phases in research methodology, which are phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The phase was being divided correspond with the semester. In the phase 1, there are two parts, which are research idea and literature review. Research idea was including identify the problem, aim and objective, scope of research, significance of research, conceptual framework, and data structure. Part 2 is literature review, indicate the review on strategic infrastructure of asset management. And second, a review securing and monitoring approach in asset management. And for the phase 2 is methodology part, which is user requirement analysis or URE. And second is data collection or City Council of Johor Bahru. Basically, in the methodology part, the activity that was being done are data collection, and the last is parts, and the lastly is the phase 3 was divided into two parts, which are application development and testing and evaluation. In the application development, the activity that was being done are database development, physical design, and logical design. And for the testing and evaluation, testing and correction. design was being made to determine the relationship between the objective, research questions, data, and the expected outcome. For the first objective, which are to review the concept and the framework for strategic infrastructure asset management. The method that was being done are literature review on the chapter 2, and the expected outcome are the research conceptual framework regarding the strategic infrastructure of asset management. The second objective, which are to analyze the advantage of securing and monitoring towards asset management and maintenance. Then the method that being done in order to achieve the objective are from the literature review on the chapter 2 and the analysis from the developed application. Then the expected outcome should have analysis of the comparison between before and after the CCTV installment at the study area, which are MBGP. And the third objective are to develop a security application that can be integrated with 3D modeling. Then the method that being done are database design, prototype development. Then the data needed are the MBGP data and the data that was collected from the and the acquisition from the Google Earth in order to determine the point of the study area. And the expected outcome are the security and monitoring applications. Then I will explain the research operation workflow. Research operation workflow involves the technical part of the research study. For the first part, I would like to explain the data collection. Data collection was involved just partial data acquisition in the MBJP, which are the study area, and data processing involve process which are digitizing, spatial data zoning, georeferencing, and coordinate transformation into the local coordinate system. Then, after the data collection process, I will proceed with the database development, which are asset inventory database. Then, I will start to develop web design using HTML and PHP. Next, I will link the web application that are developed with the database server. In order to link the web application with ArcGIS 10.5, HTML pop-up tool was being used, such as client can click a button that will show the information regarding the features. Next, the hyperlink was used to link the web application with the CCTV. The link are RSTP link, which are real-time streaming protocol. Clients should have viewed the live streaming video of the study area when they are clicking the hyperlink. Lastly, 3D output will be generated from the image of the live streaming video. Then, I will continue with the study area. Study area involved in the research study are MBJP or Johor Bahru City Council. Their specific area that is selected are Dewan Jubilee Intan and Dewan Muafakat Johor. Dewan Jubilee Intan was located at Jalan Air Molek, Johor Bahru. Meanwhile, Dewan Muafakat Johor was located at Taman Ada Heights, Jalan Ada 4 in Johor Bahru. Both of the study area was located at Johor Bahru. The expected outcome of the research study will be the development of a security and monitoring application which can be integrated with 3D modeling. This system will basically use a live streaming video using CCTV from the study area in order to achieve the main aim and objective. This outcome can help the local authority to pursue the importance of security and monitoring in terms of asset management and maintenance structure. The structure was divided into 5 parts, which are Introduction in Chapter 1, Literature Review in Chapter 2, Methodology in Chapter 3, Result Analysis in Chapter 4, and lastly, Conclusion in Chapter 5. For the Chapter 1, it starts with introduction, problem statement, main research question, aim of research, objective of research, scope of work, significance of research, and lastly is the conceptual framework. In literature review, in chapter 2, involve introduction, asset management infrastructure, the characteristics of asset management infrastructure, framework for strategic infrastructure of asset management, security and monitoring, security and monitoring approach in asset management in Malaysia. Thirdly is methodology in chapter 3. Involve use partial data acquisition, database design, and the prototype design. Chapter 4 involve result of assessment, security and monitoring application. Lastly is the conclusion, which involve conclusion and recommendation. The next, I will proceed with the proposed research schedule plan. Basically, the research schedule plan was being made from October 2020 until June 2021. The schedule were divided into 4 parts, which are first, strategy infrastructure of asset management, second, data collection and processing, third, database development and visualization, fourth, testing and recommendation. Basically, for the first part, I'll put the milestone in the recommendation and correction because it is the last of our assessment regarding the FYP1. And the progress is 88%, which is almost finished. Then I will proceed with the data collection and processing. The progress is 56% as I have starting to collect the data at the study area and starting to start the data collection process. And for the remaining 2 tasks, I have not started yet until the research proposal or the proposal defense is being done. And furthermore, the remaining 2 process will be done on the second semester. Lastly, for the conclusion part, this chapter lists the basis for the thesis. First, it sets out the context of the study and points to the problem of asset management and maintenance status before providing the reason for the analysis, the main research topic and its objective. Next, the scope of study is defined before the conceptual research structure and the research design are drawn up. Finally, the research method is explored briefly and the study organization is illustrated. On this basis, the analysis will continue with a detailed overview of the research and development process. And I really hope that the panel will understand thoroughly all of my presentation. And once again, thank you very much for listening to my presentation, Doctor. Thank you.